Hi, my name is Alex Pluto and this is Package Main. For a long time I haven't done any code reviews on this channel, and in this video I'm going to make a code review of command line domain query tool written in Go. Basically, it does requests to external API to check domain availability and who is information. First of all, let's get this package and build it. Let's go get this package first. Then go to the directory where it's located and open it in our editor. First of all, let's build this package, and I can see that we have makefile, and probably we can just run make build. Alright, now we have name beta binary file. Let's try to execute it. So there are some options we can provide, and we have required argument is a domain name. So let's try to do something golang.org. Cool, there are some list of domains which are available, which are not. Also, there is an option -w to check who is information. Great, and we have help, which is the same as if we don't pass the argument. Of course, when we do code review, we will not change anything here, so the program will work as expected. Let's open main.go file and start from here. Alright, so we check that we have at least, we check that if it's one, just show usage. Then we parse arguments. There's a function in utils. So when help is display usage, then it returns actually some parameters. String is a domain name, and second one is, as I understand, it's when we provided -m to show more domains, and last one is who is information. Here is true. Cool, so let's start from here. As I can see the code in main.go file, the first if is actually the same as we do in utils.go. So first of all, let's move it there. So we have it in one place. Cool, then we actually return 3 arguments here, and then we send it to query. And what I want to do, I want first to define a struct and return it in parseArgs function. So later we can change the struct, add some fields, and we don't need to change anything in main.go file or somewhere else. So let's define CLI type, for example. And we will have here domain, a string. Next one is with more, bool, and who is bool. Great. And we will return a pointer to this type. I'm not sure if we should return error here or not. I think if we just return empty object, if we return nil, we will just print some error. And what I don't like in utils.go that we do os.exit here. I think we should do it in main.go file. And as you can see, we have same step in 4 places. So let's change it a bit and do it actually in main.go file in case parseArgs will return nil. So what I'm going to do, I will change this one to CLI, and I check if it's nil, we will do this code. We will display usage and exit, and we will parse CLI to query. Cool, now let's change this so it will return us CLI. So if return nil. Then, alright, by default we will return nil. If help, we will return nil. But actually now we can skip this step because it will go here. So remove it. Then here return nil, and here let's build our CLI object. And actually we can skip saying domain with more whois. We can just pass a list of arguments here. Cool, it will be like this. Also, I think that we can change this if a little bit, because we have return nil here. Of course it's return nil, but anyway I'm going to remove it. So if it's more than 2, so 0 will be the name of executable, 1 will be the domain name, and 2 will be parameters. So like this. Same as here. More than 2, we will return this one. And by default, we just return domain name and false, false. Cool, so our parse args function looks much simpler now. Let's save it. Alright, we have some error here. Alright. Cool. Now main.go fail. Cool, let's go to query and change it. So we pass pointer to CLI type, and then just let's change here domain with more and with whois. Great. Now let's rebuild it and see if it works, because we don't want to break anything. Build still works. Name better. golang.org. Oh, I did this typo again. Great, it still works. Now let's go to query function and see how it works. So if you want to retrieve whois information, we go here. Otherwise, we go to query domain. Alright, let's check first query domain. So we have some results. We show the spinner. Then here the function where we get results, domain query, it's in utils.go. And as I can see, we do request to domain URL. We just name beta.com API query. And then we just parse response. Great, now let's see how query whois works. It's very similar. We also initialize a spinner and we go to whois query. And what I can see that whois query and domain query, they're actually very similar. We do request to different URLs, but the body of the two functions are pretty similar. So I'm going to combine these two functions into one. Let's call it get domain info. So what we will return, let's do the same. But I also want to return error here. Let's see how these functions are different. So in second one we pass param, but actually here we also work with params, but we do it inside the function. I think that we can send these params from query.go file. So I think that we will go with this one. As input parameters. Alright, and the URL for post request is different. So it will be the first argument to this function, endpoint string, then domain Right, domain we have in two functions, domain string, and all right, let's have params, and it's map. Key is a string and value is a string. Great. So we defined result. Now we do endpoint. We keep it like this. It's params now. And let's change it a little bit. All right. Now I return error. So instead of doing color red format printf here, all right, let's change it later. For now, we keep it as is. Just change something in log file to query domain. Let's also print endpoint, so we know where we call into endpoint. All right, and now I'm going to remove these two functions. Hope it will work. Not yet, of course. We should change it here in all places where did we call it. Whose query will be get domain info. All right, it will be whose URL, then domain, and as params we need to send what we did send here. Let me check. We did send domain as param, so let's define params here, and we can do it in one line, so it will be domain params, and we will have error here. All right, let's remove this function again. I forgot to say that we don't have error here. Great. Next place is here, get domain info, will be domain URL, domain and param. All right, I like to call it params because it can be multiple, and we can do it also one line. And also error here. And when we want to receive more information, we also call this and domain info. Pretty much the same. And error also. All right, now we need to use somehow our error, and I think that we should return it in all functions, including the main query function. So let's return error, and we do like this, so we can get rid of else, and then we can print error in main.go file, because as I can see here, if something bad happens, we just do color red in multiple places and then exit with one. The same we have in utils. So I will change this. Here I will return error, and here also. So let's check this. If error is not new, return it. All right, return new, because we should change it here. I will not remove color.red for now. I will do it later, because I think that I will finish this step and I want to build and test if it still works. And let's add here at the end return new. All right, my editor doesn't show any errors, so let's build it. And let's check golang.org. Let's check whose information still works, and let's check more. Right, it works. The list is big enough. Great, now let's figure out how we can deal with errors. First of all, in utils.go file, I want to return. Alright, first of all, I see that we're skipping some errors. In post function, no, it's not here, it's in end. It's a response, string is a body, and actually a slice of errors. So, okay, it will be errors, and I think we should check them. If it should return, but I'm not sure which one should I return. Let's return the first one for now. And here, if something failed with unmarshalling, alright, the result will be nil, I forgot. Return also result nil, and then we can return same message and change sprintf to errorf. I don't think we should do cross symbol in error, same as /n. I will do it in main.go file. So that's it. I will copy it and post to so I don't forget about it. Put it here. Great. Otherwise, we return result and nil. Let's go back to query. Here we return error. Yeah, let's do the same here. Else. We can actually remove this else. In case everything is fine, we return nil. Otherwise, we return fmt errorf, and we don't need cross symbol. Great. Then here we return it, and here actually everything is fine. Let's do return nil, return fmt errorf, remove the symbols. Yep. Great, let's save. There's some unexpected. Great, there's still one error here. Same. Great, now let's go back to main.go file and check the result of our query function. So, and actually we can do it in one line. If error is not nil, we can print it. So, we need to print cross symbol. Let's keep /r/n. Here will go error message, and we can just do error.error. Cool. Let's test it. Let's build it, and great, it works, and it works. Alright, how to check that we still print this error? I will turn off my internet and try to run this function. Alright, so we have this error, we have this cross symbol. I only think that we have it in one line, and I think I know why. Let's go back to query. I think we should call stop before we return something. So let's do it like this. So we stop all the time before we return. And the same is here. So we start here, and then where we stop. Alright, we do it here. And right, and actually we can do it later after stop. So we don't need to return here because we will do it in one place here. Let's build it and see if it fixed our problem. And this is correct behavior because after we do querying, it should be removed. So we have only error or results. Great, I'm turning my Wi-Fi back and trying to run it again. Great, the list of results. What I will do next here, what I saw in utils.go, that we use GoRequest package to get information to make basically the post request. And I don't see why we use this package. It's pretty much simple, and we can basically use net HTTP, the standard Go package. So what I'm going to do now, I will remove this package and I will use standard tools. So I'm going to comment all these lines from here to here, I think. So let's start with creating our request in Go using HTTP package. So to be http.new request, we should send method, URL, and the body of our request. So we have a post, we have endpoint, and let's have new for now. And let's always check errors. And in case there is, return nil and error. Now, as you can see, we don't have this slice of errors, so we have only one always. Cool, now let's set, as we can see here, we set some headers as user agent and refer. I think it should be refer. So we can do it with request header dot set, basically the same. Do it for refer and value. So it means that we send it from some special form. Alright, now we need to send params to our form. So we should send it here where it's nil now, and we can create a form using URL package values and iterate of our params map and add values here. So form add key value. And now we need to send it here, and the value is IO reader. So we can use bytes new buffer from string and use form encode, which will return as a string. Great, so we set some headers here. Now let's do request itself. So first let's initialize the client. It's http.client and call a function do, and by sending request here we will have response and error, and we will return it. Now we need to have the body of our response. We can get it from resp.body, and first of all, what we should do, we should therefore close it so we don't leak the memory, and then we should have this slice of bytes, and for this I'm going to use iotil package and read all. from resp body, so it will be body and error, and let's return it. Great, and now we don't need to convert string to bytes, so we just send body here. Great, so I think that we can now remove the code we have here. Now we have error, so we don't need this. Great, I think that everything is ready. Just going to save, to look, so we have values. We make a post request, we set some headers, we do request, get the response body, and then unmarshal it. And now, as you can see, we don't have a go request package anymore in our import section. All right, let's build it first. Great, and let's see if it works. All right, it doesn't work, and actually I don't know why, because we don't print error here. So let's print it. Let's just print string. Actually, I'm not sure if error happens here, but I hope it's here. Might build and run it again. And as you can see, we have invalid character here, and it means that we have HTML. And I think I know why, because in GoRequest package we use type function which will set the content type. So what we need to do, we need to basically set content type that it made from form, content type, and as I remember it's application x form URL encode. Great, let's try it again. Let's build it and run it again. Now we still have this issue. And let me check if I didn't make any typo. Content type application x form URL encode. I think it encoded. So let's try to do it again and run. Great, now it works. So let's check all options. Let's check who's information. Great, it works. And just without any options. Yeah, golang.com, not available. Great. As you can see, we got rid of one package. Why should we use it as we have net HTTP standard Go package? Now let's fix one issue as we use GoDeps, so we should remove this package also from GoDeps and reduce the size of the repository. So I think we can just do godep restore and godep save, and let's check. Great, so we have some deleted files, and I'd also change godep's manager to dep, but of course I'll leave this decision to owner of the project. Let's check all files one more time again. So what we changed in main.go file, we have a command line, we send it to query, print error, then in query. Right, let's check what we use here. We use spinner, table writer, great color for printing, we have some constants, and we have a query, we have a spinner running. Also, I'd like to change the part when we return the slice of interfaces and created types for response, but I checked that response of name better is kind of weird because we have in one slice different types, so I keep it as is. Great. Result more. I think we can move it to the with more, as result more is only set here. And I think that's it. this row. I think we can just remove one line, append. We can just initialize the slice with one value. Just a small improvement. And I think that's pretty much it. Let's test latest small changes. Great, it works. Now, of course, I'm not going to push it to master, and I don't have permissions actually. So let's create a branch. Let's call it code review package main. And let's commit something. I will change it probably later. So here's results of our code review. We removed 12,000 of files and 28 files changed, but of course most of them are in vendor folder. Now I'm going to create a pull request and send it for review. You can find its link in the description of the video. I hope it was interesting and useful, and this pull request will be merged. So see you later.